Alright, Miss Robinson's art students, today is Wednesday, 3/25/20. This is your assignment. Simple 3D form / cylinder still life continued. Real quick before we get started, I want to remind you, I'm going to be posting these or uploading these to my YouTube channel first. Okay, so subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can have really easy access to all of your art assignment videos. I'm learning how to do this for the first time, so as I get more experience, more practice, hopefully I'll get them uploaded to my channel faster, and then I can upload them to Google Drive faster, and Mr. Hughes can get them on the Wilkerson YouTube channel faster. But that's going to take a little while. So, my art student assignment videos will be on Wilkerson YouTube channel, but they're going to go to mine first. So subscribe to Janice Robinson. That's my channel's name. Jane Ice is how you spell my first name. Robinson. Alright? One final reminder before we get started. I don't want you to forget to pause this video at certain points where you need to catch up on your drawing. So when you feel like it's time to catch up on your drawing, I want you to pause the video and get that part of the drawing finished. Okay? I'm going to put this card up when I think it's a good time for you to do that. It might be a good time for you to do it at other points when I don't put the card up. You're in control of that, okay? So it's kind of a benefit to us having art class remotely. You can pause me whenever you need to. Okay, so today we're going to add shading to our cylindrical objects. I drew a roll of toilet paper. You may have drawn something different. We're going to take a look at my object, my real object, in just a minute so you can see why I'm adding dark, medium, and light shading to certain parts of my drawing. And you can draw this along with me, or you can draw your own cylindrical object that you choose from your house, remember? So if you chose like a soup can, or some other cylinder, like a coffee mug, or candle holder, something else that is cylindrical, then I want you to look at your object, and where it looks dark, medium, and light, that's where you add those values, okay? So give me just a second here. Go look at my object. And here it is, that beautiful roll of toilet paper. So on the left side of my object, it's where I'm going to make it the darkest. The lighting's a little different than the last time whenever I drew my contour drawing. So I'm probably going to stick with my drawing, even though right now the shadows are a little bit different. It's a different time of day. So mainly the left side of my object is going to be the darkest. My medium is going to be kind of left middle, and to the right and on top, the lightest values. And then of course, you know, inside the tube there, inside the roll, is going to be the darkest value. Okay? Okay, and we're back. So I'm adding hatching to mine. I want you to choose hatching, cross-hatching, or scumbling for your shading. I'm going to start adding some light hatching here in this area. This angle's not great for me. Once again, I'm drawing around my camera. It's on a little tripod, so it's a little tricky. But because this is a curved object, I'm going to be using slightly curved lines for my hatching, okay? Oh, one thing I forgot is we want to go back and make these contour lines a little bit lighter, especially over here where it starts to get very, very light. We don't want to see these lines later. Where our shading is dark and medium, it'd probably cover them up, but where it's really light, it won't unless we get rid of them more. Okay, I think that might do it. Let's get back to shading. Okay, so I'm starting with hatching. I'm going to start lighter and kind of go over it with more layers to darken it. And, you know, I just made a mistake there. I'm just going to go back and erase that later. No problem. And the reason we're using curved lines is because this object is rounded. So it's going to help us make this look cylindrical and round, curved, if our lines are slightly curved. Okay, so I am going to keep doing that. And I'm going to pause this video and let you get caught up. I'm going to get a lot of this done and show you what it looks like when I go all the way to the bottom with this shading. So I forgot to use the pause card. I'm going to try to remember to use that in the future. We're done pausing now. So here's my shading so far. I went all the way to the bottom and over. And now some of this area is supposed to be getting lighter. So the way we're going to solve that problem is we're going to add more shading here to make this darker, and this will remain lighter. So to darken this area, you want to be the darkest, especially right over here. We're adding another layer of shading. And if you have the benefit of having drawing pencils with you, which some of you may, some of you probably don't, then you can switch to your one of your B pencils now. 4B, even 6B would be great to really gently add darker shading. I'm using a regular HB pencil because I think that's what most of you have. And you know, now's not a time to go out and shop for things unless you are really in need of them and they're necessities. So I'm going to smudge this with my finger a little bit. You can use different ways. There are different methods of smudging. I like to use my finger. You can use a tissue, you can use a blender. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. But, I mean, this toilet paper happens to have ridges, so I don't want to remove all of the lines. I do want them to show a little bit. But, you know, your cylinder may not have texture, so you might want to make your lines a little closer together, and then blend those spaces between them away. So I'm adding more layers here to darken this more. And now is a good time for you to pause again, and catch up on your drawing. Alright, so I'm back. And here's what I've done with my shading so far. It's taken multiple layers to get here, but I'm still trying to maintain that slight curve, and I'm getting lighter and lighter. Here's a trick. Whenever you've gone too dark, just go back and really gently erase a little bit to get your lighter value. And that is really helpful. Okay, so that's a little too light right there. So the tricky part for me is adding these hatching lines, these strokes, in slight curves, and trying to work in these small spaces. That's pretty tricky to me. But I'm working it out. So we're going to keep on adding that shading really lightly. Now this part gets a little dark. It's some kind of an indentation. I think I called it an indentation last time. It's just a little part of the roll that's pressed in. We'll see how that looks. Maybe a little too dark. Just make that a little darker for now and then come back to it. We just want to remember it's going to be darker. And, you know, if it's too distracting, we might even just take that out later. Okay, so I'm going to keep on adding this, and you might be thinking, oh, we have so much more to shade, this is going to take so long. But really, it isn't, because this area is going to be so light, it's going to have very little shading. And here we have to remember to add our shading super, super lightly. Like, that's probably even too dark. I'll probably smudge that and erase it a little bit and then rework it. Turn my hand this way. It's a little different. That's going too dark for me. Let's see what it looks like when we smudge it. Yeah, it's a little dark. So I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to try to remove it in the same kind of curved strokes that we're using. And then I might like re-smudge it. And see, this line that we had from our contour drawing before isn't really showing up. Which is, I mean, we can see it enough to have it benefit our drawing, but it's not really showing up too much. Okay, and I think we're probably going to stop here for now, okay? And we're gonna come in and brighten this up by erasing. So we know along this line right here, we want this to be very, 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 very light. And I want you to keep going, and I'm going to keep going with mine, but I'm going to have to stop the video. At the beginning of our next video, where we're going to draw a rectangular prism-like object, at the beginning of that video, I'll show you my end result, my roll of toilet paper with beautiful shading, and hopefully I'll get my cast shadow done also. And then we'll start our three-dimensional rectangular prism object, rectangular prism-like object. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you tomorrow.